Yes, that's it, guys. That's it. Finally time. So, as the title implies, I think we were gonna be happy on this one because it's about evil judges, like not ending up well, and hopefully the title really makes up for the video. And yeah, let's see how it is. So the title is State Supreme Court Kicks Tyrant Judge Off Bench Permanently by Stevie Leto channel. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's watch it.
To Leto's Law. Here's Steve Leto.
I've talked and hear about bad judges before, and I've been in front of a lot of judges in my
Leto.
career, practicing law now for 34 years in the state of Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, YouTube. Usual YouTube for you guys.
I've been in front of good judges, bad judges. The vast majority of judges are right in the meaty part of the curve of just, they're okay. They do their job. They're competent.
No, I'm sorry. I agree with you, like, rightfully on the beginning, almost on the beginning of this video. For me, most of the judges are evil and corrupt, okay? The least of the judges are actually good. Why, you might be asking yourself, just look at the world. Just look at your own country. How it's been declining so fast. How a lot of people who commit murder are already on the streets like in the next day. If this is not for evil judges, I don't know what it is.
And they're right most of the time. But every now and then you get in front of a bad judge. But most of the bad judges I've been in front of.
You can come here and say it's because of prosecutors and etc. I don't think so, okay? I don't think so. You guys have laws to make them be arrested for good for a very long time, but they are clearly not be respected. And this is because it cannot be for other reason if not for the ones who are interpreting. Oh my god, this, I'm sorry, you guys understood. These rules, these laws, okay? So, and the ones who have this rule are the judges. None else if the judges. So they are responsible for everything that has been happening. They are not the only ones, but they are one of the main reasons of why everything that's happening is happening to begin with. This is my opinion.
Were simply the judges that didn't follow the law or appeared to show favoritism, but it's not the kind of thing that if you read the transcript, you go, oh my gosh, what that judge is doing is crazy.
Yeah,
and I did talk, of course, about the judge out of Brighton, Michigan, who wound up getting sanctioned to the point where they kicked her off the bench, and she actually spent time in jail for something that was related to what she was accused of doing that caused her to get kicked off the bench. And I'd been in front of her before. But interestingly, as I was in front of her, she never acted terribly crazy in my cases, but I was reading about her in the paper in other cases. However, here's a judge who made the news where the Supreme Court of Indiana actually said, you, off the bench. And he's been kicked off the bench permanently. And I've mentioned before that states have their own constitutions and their own way of doing things. And in most states, the state Supreme Court oversees the entire court system of
If it was a vile one, that's nice. Hopefully it was.
The state courts. There'll still be federal courts overseen by the feds, but the state courts are overseen by the state Supreme Court. So the Indiana Supreme Court has the right to look at a judge and go, hey, you're not qualified for this. Get out of here. So Larry, Jake, and Jim all sent this to me from WXIN or WTTV. Both ran it.
We had this here.
Like a tyrant is the quote. Indiana judge accused of unfair and inappropriate treatment gets permanent ban. He's from Howard County, accused of all kinds of stuff, including using a game or jail tactic and cursing out defendants, has been permanently banned from the Indiana judicial system. The judge was in Howard Superior Court, was asked to resign from his position this week and received a lifetime ban. It's made official a couple days ago in a discipline filing by the Indiana Supreme Court. He's been found.
I love so much, so freaking much, seeing justice be made. It warms my heart, like really. Oh God, I love this. I wish we have like reasons every single day to feel good like that, you know, like really.
Found guilty of judicial misconduct for several reasons, including failing to disqualify himself from presiding over matters in which he previously represented a party. That's a no-brainer.
What does it mean?
Making injudicious comments toward problem-solving court participants. So apparently the courts have got a problem-solving operation where they have people trying to help participants solve their problems without protracted litigation. And he's made injudicious comments about them. He has, according to the Supreme Court of Indiana, favored...
So he was being like too personal, like it's that what it means. Like he was, referring to them directly and not for what was actually happening. I don't know.
Favored certain litigants while degrading others.
Wait, what? Degrading others?
He has, according to the Supreme Court of Indiana, favored certain litigants while degrading others, inadequately supervising employees. And you have to remember that a judge has a staff, and the staff answer to him or her. And so you have to supervise these people properly. And also says possibly misusing court funds. Now, that came out of nowhere. He was previously charged in March with 9 counts of judicial misconduct. The Indiana Supreme Court has now found guilty on all charges. All charges. He's been a judge.
We had one case here. I even saw a video, coincidentally, today about it. That a judge, a female judge, was talking to a guy, like a prisoner that was in a trial, It was an online conference or something like that. It wasn't presential. It was by internet. It was happening by the internet. So, for obvious reasons, I cannot post the video here. Not because it's in Portuguese, but yeah. She's a judge, and judges have super, ultra, absurd powers in my country. Like, to really destroy everyone's lives that they just can. And so I would not post the video here for obvious reasons. But she just got too personal with the criminal, like, said something like, "You here again? You don't help me to help you. Like, why are you here again?" Something like that. But saying that with smiles and jokings, and and like, if that if that already knew him, like it was like if he was a personal friend of hers, or something like that.
Only since January of 2023, presiding over cases in both drug court and re-entry court. Dubbed problem-solving courts, or PSCs, these specific posts are designed to help defendants address addiction issues and reintegration.
And the guy was there for murder, by the way, for homicide.
Needs. So I was thinking it was a program, but apparently it's actually part of how the entire court itself operates. And apparently he would make injudicious comments about the participants in that. Before becoming a judge, he had served primarily as a public defender. However, upon becoming a judge, he did not recuse himself from hearing cases in which he was previously involved. That's like on the first page of the ethics rules, maybe the second page, that if you transition to becoming a judge, you're disqualified from ruling on cases involving your recent ex-clients. I mean, come on. Documents filed. See, then presided over several cases involving participants he had previously represented. Officials believe he did this at least 11 times. Well, sir.
We even have a very recent event that happened here that we will not mention because I don't want to get arrested, of course, because my country is so free for me to state what I want to say, right? So yeah, but we have a very, very recent events that happened that I better not say that I went so far.
Serving as a judge, he reportedly used unusual inappropriate tactics when addressing issues within the court. One thing was he called game or jail, according to court documents. In one case of game or jail, the judge reportedly had a participant handcuffed despite not being in custody or accused of any violations. He then told the person if they lied, they'd be put in jail. And of course, that was a scare tactic to get information and was not legal. He reportedly once told a domestic violence survivor that women who don't
Of
leave abusive
course.
relationships because their brains enjoy physical pain. And he compared victims to Tom Brady, which is just, oh boy. And I read the transcript of what he had to say about Tom Brady and physical pain.
Oh,
And
I guess
unfortunately, I
I'm
can't read it here because it
understanding.
was just so bizarre and rambling, but also contained a bunch of really weird stuff. So he went on to say that that woman does not deserve a chance to receive justice and referred to her as property. Property. He said, "You don't deserve this chance. I know what's wrong with you, and I know how to fix it. You're not even my property yet. Do you know that you're the Department of Corrections property for 98 days? Oh, boy. The Supreme Court filing goes on to say that the judge continuously demeaned and
God.
ridiculed participants in his court. Other accusations against him include holding up a sign that read, "I'm watching you, dumbass," to a defendant.
This guy
He called a
can't be real.
person the 1/3 of the 1% of worst people in the planet. Now,
What?
telling a participant he was making stuff up in his brain during a hearing, but he didn't use the word stuff. Discussing participants' medical conditions on the record and requiring STD testing. Using the word stupid to describe people's intelligence rather than their actions. While this all occurred when he was officially acting as a judge, his misconduct reportedly spilled over into
The guy is very unhinged. Like, very. Oh my God.
non-judge things.
It's so
In
real.
addition to harassing participants, he reportedly continued the misconduct in his offices. Once in October of 2023, the judge reportedly met with a participant of the PSC program at his former law office and disparaged and disclosed confidential information about other participants. Additionally, he reportedly disparaged members of his own PSC team. At other times, he claimed his team members were moles, and that he had them followed outside of the courtroom. Now, a mole in this sense
Jesus
is
Christ.
a spy working undercover. While he allegedly treated some defendants with blatant disrespect, he reportedly gave others unfairly favorable treatment. See, yeah, you're not supposed to treat people really, really poorly, nor are you supposed to go overboard and treat them really, really well if it's inappropriate. Even his seemingly well-intended acts unfairly favored some participants over others, the Indiana Supreme Court wrote. So in one case, he reportedly let a participant who needed housing
This
stay
can't
in a
be
rental
real.
home owned by his wife. The judge is alleged to have helped clean out and paint the home, even going so far as not to charge the participant any rent for the first few months. In another case, and by the way, you might say, but Steve, what's wrong with
Like, it started, like, more or less, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And no stop. Like, oh my God, this is so real. This is so surreal. How, and you see this is another problem. You see how long it took to make a decision against him like this. How long it took. Look at how much things that he has done. And these are just the ones that were caught and related, that were documented. Imagine all the other stuff that probably happened for all this time that we have no idea.
that?
Oh my God.
What's wrong with that?
Because for every, like, it's like when you arrest people, like, oh, he committed this and this and this and that crime. That person probably committed like 3, maybe 10 times more crimes than what they are accused of have done. Like, I'm talking about recurrent criminals like drug dealers and stuff. But these are the only ones that you could prove, that you really have factual proof that they done. But they do like a lot of more stuff. So it's not different from these people, from these judges, or, it's not different. This is only the ones that were caught and documented. Imagine all the other stuff that this guy might have done.
Judge sees a guy who needs help, gave him help. Well, the person's appearing before him. And he's giving them all this help. Does he give that help to all the participants? No. Why is it just this one person? See, I know right now there's a couple guys in the audience who are going, I bet I know why. It's just a suspicion. There's a 50-50 chance that participant was female. But most guys in the audience right now are willing to bet money that it was. And give you better odds than that, too. In another case, after issuing an arrest warrant for a participant who violated drug court rules, he reportedly helped the suspect move his vehicle to a safe place and coordinated the safe recovery of belongings from an apartment. He also once allegedly allowed a suspect to be escorted to and from a medical facility for treatment before being taken into custody. So he's apparently interfering with how these things are normally done. I can tell you, I've heard stories. There was a case in Michigan where a woman got pulled over by a police officer who then called her boss, and her boss was a judge. And the judge showed up at the roadside and talked to the officer, going, "Can you please just let her go? She works for me." It's not how this works. He's also accused of offering free rides to at least 6 drug court participants whom he favored. He also once urged the defendant to speak with his wife about a wedding dress gift certificate valued at $8,000. I'm assuming they mean with the judge's wife, but the Indiana Supreme Court dubbed these actions well-intentioned. They said they violated court rules regarding treatment of participants. Treat them all the same. Treat them all fairly. Furthermore, these actions do not appear favorable when juxtaposed with his unfair treatment of others. Court officials went on to say that a presiding judge's demeanor has an outsized impact on PSC participants due to the way the courts are structured. Furthermore, they said he understood this and still wielded his position of power like a tyrant through intimidation. In total, he was found to have broken at least
which is, by the way, very common. That it's a very normal evil judge behavior. Very simple. Nothing new here.
Rules.
Nothing new.
So people sometimes don't know this. There is a set of rules the judges must follow. There's a set of.
We need better laws to punish bad judges. We need new, strong laws to punish evil judges. That's it. I say this so many times for so long already, and I will not get tired of saying this. This is one problem that I don't hear much people talking about, but it's probably, if not the main problem, is one of the first ones on the list that people should be paying attention. And I don't see people caring that much about it. It's always about politics. Of course, this is important, but people don't see the big problem, the huge problem that is judges. Really, do you know what's happening in my country, Brazil? Do you have an idea? I will resume everything that's happening here in one word. Judges. And I cannot go further than that. I probably shouldn't even be mentioning that because this is enough already for you to, have a very terrible experience. But I'm risking myself a lot here, so subscribe at least, leave a like, support me. That helps a lot. Also, I'm getting tons of videos demonetized here as well. So
rules that attorneys must follow. And as you can imagine, since judges are generally attorneys to begin with, they got to follow both sets. And the judicial canons that are often called, at least in Michigan, talk about what a judge should and should not do. And they're saying he broke at least 8, including 1, acting in a way that promotes public confidence in the judicial system. He apparently failed to do that. 2, presiding over cases that you have a personal or extrajudicial connection to. He should not have done that, and he did it. He should uphold and apply the law and perform all his duties fairly and impartially. They say he didn't do that. And then requiring order and decorum during court proceedings, they're saying he didn't do that either. And by the way, holding up a sign while somebody is talking that says, "I'm watching you, dumbass." Does anybody really need to say, "Hey, let's check the rule book in that one"? Should a judge be holding up a sign saying, "I'm watching you, dumbass," in court? Is that appropriate conduct for a judge?
Clearly not.
So in conclusion, the Indiana Supreme Court opted to permanently ban him from all judicial service.
But hey, Who cares for what is appropriate? They are the law itself. They are they are the law themselves. Like, they write the law. Like, of course, I'm exaggerating things here, but it's just for you to see how stupid it is. Like, they don't respect the law that is written, the constitution or everything like that, your amendments, your sacred amendments. He doesn't respect that because he doesn't need to. He holds the final decision. Like, who judged the judges? That's the question that everyone says, like, from time to time, like, sometimes like a joke, but that's partially true. Who judge the judges? Who rule over the judges? Oh, but Mizuki, we have systems that work too. Yeah? Are they going well? I don't see it. Just look around. Look. Tell me what you see. Do you think they're working well, huh? Things are getting better or worse, huh? I think we should take a look better, like more intensively, in what is happening in your region. Yeah, that's not good.
And require him to resign and leave office no later than September 30th. He gets a couple more weeks. He will, however, retain his law license, so he can still practice law. But the one thing I'd point out here, there is something unusual about this case. And they say he's been a judge since January of 2023.
They are on more initial stuff.
Been on the bench a little over 2 years. 2 years. Most of the bad judges I've encountered had been on the bench for a long time. And what happens is power corrupts. And a judge in a courtroom has so much power. And no one's telling them what to do, except perhaps a chief judge or
who rule over the judges?
A judge on appeal.
Who judge the judges?
And I've seen judges, and the thing I get most upset about, I've seen judges who behaved inappropriately in behavior and so on. But I've had judges make insane rulings from the bench. Insane rulings. And that is rulings they knew were going to get overturned the second the appeal was filed, figuratively speaking. They don't care. They're kind of like, are you going to appeal it or not? Let's see. So you file the appeal, you waste all the money buying the transcript and paying the appellate fees and all the time. Case gets spun around, sent right back down again. You're back in front of the exact same judge. Now, you can't say it. You can't put your hands up and do that, but you want to. And so when asked, people say, Steve, you were in front of that judge who got kicked off the bench and actually went to jail. Is she the worst judge you were ever in front of? I say, no. There was a worse judge in my mind. And it was a judge in a different county, not far away from the other judge. And he would make horrifically bad rulings. And you'd have to explain to your client, we're going to get this spun around on appeal, come back down, we'll get this fixed. It'll just take a little while. And it's the length of the appeal that's like, what? And so I've seen other judges and almost.
So you guys reached the same situation that my country is in again. And that's why I say that US has become Brazil very, very fast. And you guys don't believe me. Or you choose not to believe me. Or you guys have no idea how bad it means when I say that. So here, there's the thing that there is no justice. There is no justice. It's a lie. So when you gonna try something on justice here, like on a tribunal, or on a trial, or something like that, when you're gonna try stuff like that, it's not about if you're in the right or in the wrong, like if you really did something to deserve to be punished or not. But who will hold the trial? Who judge will rule that? If you don't have luck, and it end up in a very bad, terrible judge, which is the most highly chance possible of happening, like 6 years, maybe 7% of times, you end up with a very terrible judge that you just destroy you, even though you've done nothing wrong, because it's just how things are bad here. But you see, the problem is that, like, it's not about if you're right or wrong. You're just like really ruling, like you're really deciding your future. in front of a judge for the lucky you have in choosing the judge, like not choose because if it's like here, and I think it is, like it's random. Like you go to a trial and it gets a random judge. You don't get to choose actually, who will be the judge over you, So yeah, but if you end up with a bad judge, before the trial you already can say it's over. Like, what kind of justice is that? But it is exactly, I don't know if I'm describing correct, but it's exactly what happens here. And you guys are having a taste of that, like, just now. Like, right now, I don't know what to say. Like, this is exactly the same thing here. So it's all about who will be the judge on your trial here. If you get a bad judge, it doesn't matter if you're right. Doesn't matter if you have proofs. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Here, this is the truth over everything. Like, really. That's it. They have, like, superpowers here. Like, very terrible and humongous superpowers. Yes. They defy any law, any constitution, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They are more powerful.
Almost all of the bad judges out there didn't start out bad. They got on the bench and like, I'm on the bench now, I'm a judge. And they start doing judge-like things. And as time goes by, because there's so little guardrails or pushback, they can do anything they want, seemingly. And that power does corrupt some people. And so the judge I'm mentioning that I personally think was the worst I ever got in front of, he got reversed on appeal a lot. He didn't care. And that's what made him crazy. Because I'm one of these guys where if I again, I don't want to be a judge. Don't want to be a judge. If I was a judge and I got reversed on appeal, I would study it and go, okay, what did I do wrong? This guy, I guarantee you, he got reversed on appeal and he's like, oh, again? Who cares? Who cares? Didn't care. And if you are in a job where you legitimately don't care that you made a horrendous mistake that someone else had to fix, and you don't care, you're not good at your job. You're not good at your job. So this guy was a judge, a little over 2 years. He's out at the end of the month. He's described as like a tyrant. Indiana judge accused of unfair, inappropriate treatment gets permanent ban. Joe Schroeder wrote that for WXIN, WTTV. Larry, Jim, Jake, and Tom sent that. Thanks a lot. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Leto's Law.
I really don't know what to say. Like, it gives me a very, very terrible vibe. Like, but yeah, I mean, not in the sense of like it's good. It's always good. It's very heartwarming always to see terrible judges like this, like reaping what they saw, like getting what they deserve, But these are the least of the cases. And I bet this is something that is very hard to happen in the United States, but in my country, it's just impossible. You never see such a thing happening, like never ever a judge is punished here. And when they commit too much absurd, humongous, terrible, evil crimes, that go end up on TV or I don't know somehow, because that by itself it's something like very hard already. The worst punishment that they can get is getting how was the name again? I'm sorry. Let me use the translator here. 1 second. Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, that support my work here on YouTube, and especially my Three-Tailed Fox style members, Heath Rowell, Wallen Wolf, Fenny Sylvy, and Zalost, for the incredible support to my work. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to all of you who supported me through Ko-Fi or Tron. Thank you very, very much. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. Oh yeah, sorry I forgot. It's forced retirement. So the worst thing possible that can happen to a judge here is get forced retirement. That's it. With all their rights and everything. This is the worst. Do you get what I mean? What I say? Like, this is the worst thing that can happen to a judge in my country. If they do a lot of terrible, evil, bad shit, like this judge done, or even worse, like if he do like the most terrible, evil shit that you think a one human being can do, the worst thing possible that can happen to this judge is a forced retirement with all his rights, all his money and etc. Because here the government, I don't know if it's like in US, like it's not like US. Here the taxpayer money pay the judges' salaries, months incomes, and also the retirements. And the retirements and their rights for retirements are like humongously absurd. Like, you have no idea. It's so huge and expensive. And yeah, that's their punishment, like forced retirement. Yeah, that's my country for you. And you guys are becoming closer and closer to be in that situation. Yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check links below. Support me because I need your support, okay? My channel reach, I don't know why, probably it's related to the last law, another censorship law that my country proved here. But I don't know what happened, but my reach reduced a lot, my views reduced a lot, my income reduced like half. And I'm also getting a lot of videos demonetized. It all started like 2 weeks ago or so. And like now every like 8 or 9 videos I get one demonetized. I sometimes less. Like I got one video today demonetized. And 5 days ago I got another. Like it's so frequent. And it wasn't like that. Like I have over 400 videos. And I didn't have these problems. Now it's happening all the time. It was together with this new law that you approved here, so I can only think that they are related somehow. I have no idea, okay? So support me so I can keep coming here and say what I think, my opinions and etc. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.